He came home like a year and a half before I did. And he was like, man, when you come home, I got you. Came home. He was at my grandfather's apartment, gave me a couple dollars for some clothes, took me to the liquor store. My first time being a grown up going to a liquor store. I came
It's
home on a
amazing.
Tuesday. He put me on stage on Saturday at this place in Carborough called Cat's Cradle.
Pardon me, I'm just repping my team. MVP, been ahead of my league. iLLViLLE, put that on everything. iLLViLLE, put that on everything. Competition fading at the sight. They ain't think I see the day, but I made it through the night.
Ill Villains Unite. You are now tuned in to another installment of iLLViLLE Radio. I am your host, the GIBBY, Gibby Stites, your friendly neighborhood Gibzilla, whatever you want to call me. I got all the AKAs. And right here, I got a very special guest. All right, my homie, my friend, Jacc D. This motherfucker is nasty on the microphone. When I think about blowing big trees and witty punchlines, that's who I think about right here. Yo, Jacc D, how you doing, Doug?
I'm alive, man. I'm alive. How about yourself?
Hey, same. I'm alive and well. We over here chilling. We kicking it with the ill villains. You know, gonna take a deep dive into the life and times of Jacc D.
All right.
Yeah, man. So first and foremost, anybody who may not know, I already said right here, this motherfucker be blowing big trees. He got the dope witty punchlines. Jacc D. I met the homie doing Grind Mode. That's how we met. But then I actually spent some time in the Carolinas kicking it with him. We shot some videos together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I produced some beats for tracks that he dropped. Last year, he had 2 mixtapes last year, the White Trash Music Volume 1 and 2. I had some beats.
They're 10 tracks. They're albums.
They're full-blown albums. All right, they are albums.
They're LPs.
He gave us 2 LPs last year. I had some productions on both of them. I had some features on both of them too. But what we gonna do, y'all know what we do on iLLViLLE Radio. We go back in time. We're gonna take it back. I want to talk about the origins of Jacc D. Now, Jacc, where did you grow up?
That's a couple places. I was born in Medina, Ohio, but I lived in Akron until I was 8. And then I left Akron, Ohio, moved to Pasco County, Florida, stayed there till I was 15, and I've been in Statesville, North Carolina since I was 15, 1997.
See, I thought you were from Florida originally, but that's why I wanted to ask you, because I did the same thing with Gambles, because he had moved to Florida. He was born in Mass, moved to Florida. Yep. But I keep thinking y'all crazy motherfuckers are just all from Florida.
Well, that's because that's where crazy comes from. I am probably a fucking Florida man story.
All right, word. So you moved to the Carolinas when you was 15. At what age did you fall in love with hip hop, in the sense like it was something that you wanted to pursue?
Like 8 or 9 when I first moved to Florida. What's the shit that was hot back then? That was when fucking 2 Live Crew and goddamn 69 Boys and shit, all that booty music started jumping off, and the bass music down in the early 90s. I moved down there in 1990. So you got that's when everybody had fucking lowriders and vans with the weird colors and the whole wall of speakers and shit, bass competitions and shit.
Damn. So you got, now at what point in time did you start writing your first raps? Were you writing at that age, or
I started writing? I started kind of writing at 9. I would write what I could remember from songs and then follow off of it. And,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's how I started too.
I got in a lot of trouble for that shit.
That's what I wanted to know. At 9 years old, were you rapping? Was you doing the booty music at 9 years old?
I didn't know nothing about what I was talking about, but I was trying.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, so then 15, you moved to the Carolinas. Are you making music at this point? When did you start recording? When did that become like?
I didn't actually record my first song until I came home from the feds, and then I got off of paper. My first song got recorded in my first song, like by myself, or my first feature. My first song by myself was recorded in 2010, and the first feature I did, I think, was done in like 2008.
Yeah, so all right, well,
never came out.
So the first feature you did never even came out.
No. I was working with Josie Mo in the studio one day up in either Durham or Raleigh. Who was it that was doing the recording? It was a Raleigh artist or a Durham artist named Sean Don.
Sean Don.
Yeah, I don't think he does anything anymore. He used to be down with like Hall of Justice and Little Brother and shit. He was cool as fuck. Word. But yeah, the song never came out, and that was my first time in an actual studio. And there was a bar that I had that it kind of goes off time and then back on time, kind of. And I couldn't figure out how to catch it because, like, all the years rapping in prison and battle rapping in prison, there's no beats. You got somebody banging on a fucking table or on some bleachers or whatever, but there ain't no beats. So I was just getting used to actually rapping to beats.
Right. Yeah, because that's the thing too. When I talked to you, when we first started talking, you would spit some raps or maybe show me something, and then you'd be like, yeah, I wrote that like 15 years ago. I wrote that like 10 years ago. And then, so I jumped right ahead. I asked when you started recording, but there was this time you was locked up, you was in the feds. How long was that? How long were you locked up for?
I was locked up for 7 years.
7 years. You wanna tell the people
2007.
not to dive too far into that, but what exactly happened there? What was the
I got a state charge for common law robbery. It was an armed robbery, dropped down to common law robbery, and
word?
a Fed case for carjacking.
Well, shit. And how old were you when this went
I
down?
was 18.
Shit, so you, goddamn.
Yeah.
So your earliest adult years were spent locked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where you was, all right, so you're rapping, was you battling motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Like behind
Yeah.
bars?
Once you get off the bus and people find out you can rap, it's battle after battle after battle, and everybody's just wanting to see if you're good. And
That's crazy.
where I was at, there was only like 2 or 3 other white boys that were like nice, like flipping syllables and shit like that. So you would get put on to one of us. There's a guy from Kentucky. His name's Guy House, aka Honky Kong. Big
Honky Kong.
Honky Kong. He's out of Kentucky, man. Dude was so nasty, flipping syllables and shit. And there was another cat. I can't remember his fucking name though. He wasn't there long when I was there. He ended up getting shipped off, but he transferred out. Yeah, it was dope though. But that's where I got good.
So that's where you developed the style, because you got, talking shit is a huge part of your style. And that's what I love about Jacc D.
I've been sarcastic forever. Everybody in my family, like my childhood, I know most 80s and 90s babies can understand this. Like, my parents talking shit to me and shit like that. My aunts and uncles, everybody's just shit talking and sarcasm and shit. So that's second nature.
Right. And I've seen how that has affected your rap style in person. We was performing at some little bar in North Carolina. I can't remember what the bar was, but me and you was performing and shit. And I remember you was doing a track, and the way that your bars and the way you're rapping is set up, it's like every couple bars, motherfuckers exploded with laughter. The punchlines were just one after the other, one after the other. I remember looking around, I was like, this is the perfect environment for his fucking music. Like, everybody's smoking, drinking, having a good time. And it's almost like you was up there doing like stand-up comedy rap. That's how I felt. Like,
no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
You was very much rapping. You was very much spitting. The syllables was there.
That's from that prison shit. If you can't make a motherfucker ooh and run the fuck away, I can't believe he said that, and then run the fuck off, you're not doing anything.
Right. And I think that's why you fit in super well with Grind Mode. I mean, I met you at a Grind Mode event. So,
in South Carolina.
Yep, exactly. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself now. So let's rewind it back though. So you're locked up, you're battling, you're developing your style this way. You got out, you must have been what, like 25 years old when you got out?
I was 25, I was 4 months away from being 26.
Word. So 2010, you said, is when you recorded your first solo material.
First solo track, it was called iLLViLLE, that's what I'm repping, homie. And what the fuck was it called?
Shit, he got the hook.
I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Give me a minute. I'll remember what it's called, but it's a typical Southern track just talking about where I live.
Word. Now, at some point in time, you made a fucking 3-disc mixtape. I know you did because I own a copy of it. When did that happen? When did you make this 3-disc mixtape? Because I want the people to understand it. It's 3 discs in one pressing. Like, this shit is a triple disc pressing. Like, I ain't even seen some shit like this from Biggie or Tupac.
Well, each one of those projects had a theme. Like, they were originally going to be albums. And then when I realized I didn't own a lot of the tracks, I didn't own a lot of the shit, I couldn't release it as with a barcode, I couldn't officially release it. I just put it all together as a fucking, my 3 initials, JDF. So it's the JDF mixtape. J is for Jacked. Those are the beats that I stole from either producers that I fell out with, fucking took off of YouTube or whatever. F, or no, that next would be D. That was the demos. those are old songs that never got completely mixed and mastered or whatever. So it was like a demo version of what my album could have been.
Right.
And then F was for all the tracks I was featured on.
Words. Oh shit, so you had it broken down. You
Yeah.
got the Jacc beats, the demo Johns, and the feature Johns.
Yeah.
Put together the 3 discs.
That was, at that point, that was all the music that I had. I think it's like 27 or 28 songs. It's all the music that I collectively had at that point. Just fucking release it and start fresh.
Word. Yeah, because I thought that was super, like, that was ambitious. I thought that was an ambitious move, putting it all on, like, one pressing like that, and some real collector's edition shit for the people out there that
I
got
could only
them.
afford to have 25 of them pressed up because that was 75 CDs.
Right.
So I could only, I think it was like $500-600 for that. And I gave all of that shit away.
Shit. And I got one copy. One copy belongs to me. Let that be noted for the people out there.
One. I think I gave one to Lingo when we did the Fort Lauderdale ciphers.
Nice. Yeah, don't be harassing me for my copy, people. That's my shit. It's my shit right there.
There won't be another one.
Yeah. So you got Block Huggers Entertainment.
I do have a free download link for that though. Like there won't be any more pressings of the album, but that mixtape, I'm pretty sure I have a download link for it, like a weak transfer link.
Yo, all right, well, hey, if you track down the link and send it to me, I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video. If you could track it down for us so people can hear this rare Jacc D Frost music.
No problem.
Yeah, because now, like your latest releases, the White Trash Music 1 and 2, those are on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff.
Anywhere you can stream music, yeah. And I have physical albums.
Nice. So he does got physical copies on deck. Contact him, contact the man, get in touch, stay in touch, and just follow this motherfucker. He working on a lot of new music. I can tell you he is.
The first song I did this year is to one of your beats. I think
I just heard it.
The beat was called Action Pack, and I think I titled it Talking My Shit. Lingo just sent that back to me a couple days ago.
Yeah, I got to hear it. It goes hard. It goes hard. It's the shit talking I was hoping to hear on that type of beat right there. You know what I mean? So at what point in time? So when did you link up with Grind Mode Cypher? What year did this happen?
2018.
2018?
18. I did my first cipher in 2018, and it was actually I'm almost positive I sent the verse in like December of 2017, and we recorded the videos in like January of 2018. I ended up doing 3 ciphers with him in 2018.
No shit.
Pretty sure it was 2018. Matter of fact, while we're sitting here, I can look that up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There's a Charlotte artist. There was a group called 403 Mob. And one of the artists, his name was Ghost Unknown. He I'm pretty sure it was him, and I think it might have been another guy, Rich Mahogany. I think they both had commented on a Grind Mode post about them coming to Charlotte, and I had seen it just because I'm friends with them. So that shit popped up, and I was like, oh fuck, I love doing ciphers. And I sent Lingo some shit, and then he sent me a beat. And the fucked up thing is I didn't do my my research properly. I just seen that it was a Charlotte cipher, so I figured it was just gonna be a bunch of cats from Charlotte. I'm cool with at that time I was cool with a whole bunch of Charlotte rappers, so I was like, I'm not gonna go in here and try to hurt nobody, try to show my ass, which is exactly what I should have done. I'm like, I'm just gonna go in here with a fun verse, lay something easy down and fucking go have fun with my homies. No, I get to this motherfucker and everybody's killing shit, and I'm like, goddamn. My first appearance, and I'm like, blah.
Man, I brought a pen to a gunfight up in here.
That's why the second one when we did it in Durham, I had to goddamn show my ass a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you got the perfect style for ciphers already because your shit is
that's prison yard shit. Everybody, all the
punchline based.
Everybody stands around in a big circle, and everybody just, all right, my 16's over. It's time for you to go. Next guy. It's a cipher fucking thing. I honed my craft in ciphers and battles.
Right.
It's hard for me to write a fucking song because I want to go off on shit and run my mouth a little bit. So I'm like, nah, man, we got to stay on topic.
Yeah, we need that kind of music too, though. We need a little bit of everything out here.
You know what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get into Grind Mode late 2017 to early 2018. You did 3 ciphers with them during that period. I linked up with Grind Mode mid 2019. So you were rocking with them for like a year and a half before I was. the thing with me was right after I found Grind Mode, the pandemic happened.
Right.
Like I found them. I think I did 2 events, and after the second event, everything got shut down. We did a couple pandemic ciphers and shit. And then my return to Grind Mode was 2021. It was the Carolina ciphers. That's where I met you
Yeah,
at
South Carolina, and then
the
the Ash Jam.
the
Yeah.
Ash Jam. It was a cannabis festival and shit.
Yeah, yep.
And it was dope as hell out there. I was just giving a story about that on the last episode. There was a monk out there pushing these books on all the rappers, and me and AOK wound up taking these books from the monk. And I think AOK wrote some raps based on the book because he's intelligent like that.
He's
You
a
know what I
fucking
mean?
animal. I just
Yeah,
looked
dog.
up the first cipher I did, and the video got released February 21st of 2018. So that means I probably recorded the verse November, December of fucking 2017, and then shot the video January-ish.
So for all the listeners out there, I mean, it's clear this is an established Grind Mode affiliate right here. You've been rocking with the
I've
movement for
officially
over
done
7
20
years.
ciphers. I don't know if that's a lot when you got other people that's like Frankie's been on close to 100 of them and shit.
Yeah, I'm doing his
I
interview later.
officially just sent in like a week or 2 ago my fucking my 20th cipher.
Nice. No shit. Congratulations. That's a fucking milestone. I think 20 is a lot. I definitely think it is. I think I've done like a dozen. I produced a few too, though. I got a few ciphers where I did the beat, but I didn't rap on them. So,
Right.
you know, if I combine those, I'm approaching 20. I'm sure.
I'd say it counts.
Yeah.
I'd say
I
it
mean,
counts.
yeah, man. Then I
It's
got the
still a credit
ciphers
to
where,
your name and your fucking brand.
as a matter of fact, the second cipher that I did the beat for, you rapped on. It was the AVL series. You were on that joint. AOK was on that joint, and your son was in the video.
The one we did at the Canna Bar.
Yep.
The Canna Club behind it. Okay, yeah. That was the yeah, let me talk my shit. Is it that one?
Yeah, let me talk my shit. Fuck you,
Got
pussy. You
beef,
can
fuck
gawk my
you,
dick.
pussy, got my dick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
the
was a
one
hard
right there.
motherfucker.
Now I was hyped, man, because when I produced that cipher, he had you open it and then AOK closed it, and I was like, this is a crazy fucking lineup through and through. So that was an honor. That was an honor producing that joint.
Hell yeah. That shit was fire.
Yeah, man. So we met at Ash Jam, and
Yep.
I remember you never stopped rolling blunts at any point in time.
Oh, I come with pre-rolls.
Yeah.
They
You
was
were
already ready already. I showed up with like 10, 15 pre-rolls.
You was lighting them bitches one after the other, after the other,
Yeah.
after the other. And it was a relief because even though it was like it was like a cannabis festival,
Yeah,
but nobody
it was the diet weed.
exactly, nobody was selling real weed there. And I didn't understand that when I pulled up. So I came unprepared. I pulled up thinking I'm going somewhere to buy a bunch of weed.
Yeah.
And then it was all CBD and THCA and all of that shit or
Well,
whatever.
here the thing is though with THCA, that's THC diamonds. That shit is pretty much pure fucking THC.
Really?
Why is it? Yeah, that shit's like 98, 99%.
No shit. Because what I will say about that festival, me and Lagoon, because I was there with Team Rocket Set. That's who I rode in with, Frankie V, Lagoon. And we were stopping at the little...
I remember them all being there too, yeah.
I got sunburnt as fuck out there, bro. I left so red.
Didn't you have purple hair at that time?
Yeah, I did. That was my purple hair days.
I think it was either purple or two-tone, like red and purple.
Yeah, I was a young man back then. I was wilding out a little bit, you know. Dog, I got so sunburnt on that trip. I remember we was driving home and I didn't know I was sunburnt. So the whole time I'm driving back from Carolina to New Jersey and everybody is like, bro, it's cold as fuck. Could you turn the air down? I'm like, nah, dog, it's so hot in here. I didn't realize I was the one that was hot because I was sunburnt.
Yeah, your skin got to cool the fuck off.
Yeah, man, once the sun came up again and I could look at myself, I looked like fucking Zoidberg on Futurama, bro. This shit was crazy. I was crazy, man. But yeah, no, that was a good ass time at that event right there. I'm trying to think. And the night before we were in, because that was that South Carolina, and then North Carolina was the day before.
The day after.
Or the day after,
South
yeah.
Carolina first, and then North Carolina the day after, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the Soda City Cypher. That's one of my favorite ciphers I ever did. That's one of my favorite joints right there. And you fucking killed that one too. The AOK was on. Yeah, AOK was on there.
THCA diamonds are known for their high potency, boasting purity levels ranging from 80 to 99.9%. That's legal here in the NC.
Yeah.
But
Not they
it's only
sell.
like 25% and lower ain't.
That's crazy. They sell that shit here at the gas stations. They sell
Yeah.
it right on the corner by my house. I've never
Yeah.
tried it because I just thought it was diet. You know what I mean?
No, not the diamonds.
That's crazy. What I will say though, me and Lagoon was walking around that festival and like all the tables were like giving free samples of shit, right? So I was taking everything. I was like, oh, this kind of gummy, that kind of Delta THC gummy, fuck what. And I wasn't really, I was just eating these bitches, eating them. And then around the end of the day, it was time to drive home. And I remember being like, yo, I'm higher than I thought. Like, I was like, this shit did something to me, bro. What the fuck, man? All the THCA and CBD and Delta 9 and man, we thought the shit was fake, so we were just eating them. We were just like, ah.
It's not that it's fake. It's just there's certain components that aren't in it that are in regular flour, but it still has an effect.
Right. This episode of the iLLViLLE Radio is sponsored by Mad Max's Meds, the craziest meds on the East Coast. This little John that I'm holding right here, it's called a girl's best friend. Do you know why they call it a girl's best friend? Because it is covered in some of the finest THC diamonds known to man. Mad Max's Meds. Make sure you are following them on Instagram at mad_maxes_meds. You can check out their page for a list of dates all across the East Coast where you can catch them. That's right. You gotta catch Mad Max's Meds in person. Like a rare Pokemon out here. And you'll be happy when you do. They got merch booths set up at all kind of events across the East Coast. They got super dope merch on deck. Just check them out, man. Mad Max's Meds. Give them a follow. Support the brand. This episode is sponsored by them. All right, so let's get back to the music shit here.
All right.
So Grind Mode Cypher, you locked in with them in 2018. Me and you met in 2021. White Trash Music. I want to talk about both volumes of White Trash Music, 1 and 2. Those are the big projects you dropped last year.
Yep.
So what led to the making of these projects?
I was just sitting on a whole bunch of music and was told I needed to release it. And I was trying to figure out how to do it, the best way to do it. And
well, I'm happy you did it.
well, I was trying to do something like fucking like old school 90s shit, 22 tracks, fill up a whole goddamn album, skits, all that shit. And then Jonesy told me, he was like, man, you got enough for 2 albums, just put the shit out and start working. And the plan was release one on 420, that was the predominantly weed album. Release one on 666, which was volume 2, the aggressive album. And then I was gonna try to release one on either my birthday or Yule. And fucking by the end of the year. And then I blew out my eardrums and shit, couldn't record for a couple months. Shit was fucked up.
Yeah, I forgot that happened. Yeah, you were out the game for a minute there.
Yeah. It's all good.
So, but you're back in action now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right, that's nice. So you dropped the White Trash Music 1 and 2, blew out the eardrum for a little while, kind of knocked you out of the mode. Now that you're back recording, you got about 87,000 Gibby beats in your reserve.
I think I got 31 of your beats right now.
That's crazy. Shit, he's got the actual number. I was estimating.
31.
It felt like 87,000. You know
Just
what I mean?
released one to yours. I got another one who I sent it to the singer from A Light Divided sometime this summer. We're supposed to be getting on that, or get her to do the hook on that. And then the Ghidorah beat, since there's 2 rappers I personally know that have a fucking Ghidorah track, I'm just gonna call it Kaiju and
Kaiju.
and still bust ass on it.
Nice. Yeah, now I'm looking forward to what you do with that. I'm looking forward to what you do with all these fucking beats. That's why I'm happy that you're back in action again.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be working solely on some of your beats right now. I got so many stockpiled, so I think I'm solely gonna be working on your productions.
All the ill villains out there listening, you heard it first right here on iLLViLLE Radio. Jacc D is working on a lot of music produced by your boy Gibzilla.
Yeah.
And the shit gonna be coming out. It's gonna be coming out.
Beats are banging.
You got lingo mixing and mastering. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else that you're working on right now?
If I could never get shit to work the fuck out properly and get this podcast going, that would be goddamn great.
Shit, you got your own cast?
Well, I mean, I've had the idea for about 13, 14 years. And it's just the idea has evolved into some other shit and turned into some other shit. And then It went from being just me doing shit to having 2 co-hosts, and I can never get it set up where all of us have the same time available to do some shit. So I think I'm
Yeah,
about to
man.
take it back to the idea of just me and then whoever can fucking be available when I'm doing it.
Yep, absolutely. That's what's going on over here with
Right.
iLLViLLE Radio.
The original idea, it was pretty much like a 20 questions, right? I've always called it smoke sessions. I was gonna smoke a blunt with random motherfuckers. Whether you're an artist, you draw, you rap, you sing, you work, you have a band, you own a bar, you own a restaurant, whatever. Smoke a blunt with you, ask you some questions, and then at the end of it, showcase what you do. Like, do you play
Nice.
guitar? Fucking shred something. Goddamn, give me a drum solo, sing, scream, rap. Give me a 16, an 8, a 4. I don't care. Give me, just showcase something. That was the original idea. And then I can't remember what it had evolved into the first time from that. And then the next time it was trying to have more people around to engage with regularly instead of always having a guest, have somebody who, like one of the co-hosts I've been smoking with since we were teenagers. So part of the thing about what we're doing here is shit that you would do having a smoke session. I got video games set up out here. I got the collectibles for the nostalgia look, board games, card games, chess, Monopoly, all sorts of type of shit. And was gonna do some shit at the back of my building and turn the rolling door, get a fucking green screen put right there. Put some green cloth
Nice.
right there to do green screen shit. So we could do skits, play games, do other shit while we're just goofing off, having a smoke session. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hold on 1 second. What's up? Go play. That was my son.
Yeah, nah, all good.
So it's evolved into that right now, is what to do with that. I got ideas out the ass to do. It's just the time to do it. Having young kids and hardly no like consecutive long amounts of hours off, and then not having the everybody having the time. So that
Right.
has all set shit back, and now I'm trying to get myself back into the mode of, well, fuck it, I'll just do it.
Yeah, man,
If
it's
I
hard
have
setting
somebody
up.
around, cool, get in on it.
Yep. Yeah, man, it's hard setting up like a podcast situation with a consistent co-host. You know what I mean? For that exact reason, dude. It's hard getting the schedule on time and
Well, I feel like if it's just me, I don't know who wants to sit and just listen to me. Whether we're listening to music, whether I'm just running my mouth about shit or having a conversation or doing what you're doing, just having somebody on the bullshit with. I don't know who wants to just talk to me, but if there's 1 or 2 other people around and we're cracking jokes, we're having conversations, except for religious and fucking political. We all have
yep.
our
Yeah,
own
yeah,
views
yeah.
on that. I don't give a fuck what anybody else's are or having to argue about it. If we can have a discussion, whether we agree or disagree, I'm cool with that. And most people can't do it. So those are off limits for on camera discussions.
Yep.
But if I
Right.
got somebody else that I can do a green screen skit with or play fucking Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat with on the emulator on the PS5, whatever, or to get on the arcade or to play spades, casino, chess, something while we're doing something instead of just sitting at a table like most people do, that it would be something different. What's
Right.
up, bud?
Turn into an
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Turn into like an actual hangout session.
Yeah.
Something going on.
Yeah,
You know who fucking
almost like, and it just hit me, almost like some fucking big ticket in the basement type shit. We're doing something other than just
right.
sitting there. And it doesn't always have to be music, it's anything.
Bro, you know who be doing shit like that? Fucking T-Pain. Yo, T-Pain, he goes live. I never knew this till like a couple weeks ago. T-Pain does these live streams on Twitch and YouTube or whatever, like in his basement. He's got the basement tricked out. He's got it set up like your shit, like all like how he likes it. You know what I mean? He got his collectibles and all. But like he'll have his homies over, and I'm watching little clips of his dude. They do everything. Like he'll order a bunch of shit on Temu and just like unbox the
Just do
Temu shit.
unboxings.
Yeah, or they'll be like playing a video game and like you can see the video game during the stream. But it reminded me of what you're talking about. Like them motherfuckers just be having fun.
Right, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I find myself tuning into that now, and I'm like, oh, I love T-Pain and all the hits he put out
Right.
over the years, but I never thought I cared about watching T-Pain on the day-to-day until I seen him having fun with his homies I'm like, he just doing normal people shit. This is fucking
Dude,
it's
one
pretty
of the
cool.
things I seen about his podcast that made me want to tune in, and I still never have, I probably should. Like I watch Drink Champs, 85 South, goddamn, what's the Burt Kreischer and Tom Segura shit, Two Bears, One Cave or some shit. Like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
dumb shit. Joe Rogan, I watch dumb shit just to be dumb shit. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I watch him talking. Goddamn, where was I going with that? I forgot.
Yeah, I kind of lost it myself.
For the T-Pain shit, he was going off. I think he was listening to people's music, and he was like, man, do something different. The last 5 people did the same shit. Do something different.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I
I've seen him going off.
100 times on repeat, laughing my ass off.
He was going the fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yo, he be having all kind of guests. Like I see random people. He had Tech 9 there one night. Like
9?
yeah, he had Tech 9 on the fucking podcast.
That
Like
motherfucker's got damn near 40 years in the game. That's still a monster.
oh yeah, oh, yeah.
Like, he just
bro,
released music last week or something.
Who Tech?
Yeah, Tech.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
he
Road
never
Dogg
stopped.
Villains or some shit like that. It's a new, it's 40 years damn near in the game, still dropping hard shit.
He always got something coming out too. That's how I be losing track. I love Tech. He's arguably like the most consistent. If he's not the most, he's one of the most consistent. For decades, like you said too. 4 decades. Like, and he tours. And it's not just putting out project. He tours like 3 tours every year. And like,
dude,
motherfucker.
When I watch his performance and I'm like, all I do is just stand still because I got a fucked up leg. So I just stand still. Tech's dancing and running around and shit and hype as fuck, sweating and still. And it's like, man, I stand in one place and run out of breath with my fat ass.
Yeah, bro, he'd be up there going through like 10 sweat towels in one set. I seen it. He'll like, he got a dude who will like bring him a towel while he's rapping, right? He wipes himself off and then he'll like throw it at a chick in the crowd. Yeah. And they'll go crazy. Like, this is fucking the life this man lives. Like, first off, fucking life that he lives. Then he does his song Areola and people start throwing, they start throwing the bras at him and shit. And I seen that track live at The Gathering. The first time I seen Tech perform, it was The Gathering of the Juggalos. He fucking set it off. I forget which night it was. I think it was the first night of The Gathering. It might have been the second night, but I just remember he closed the main stage that night. He had Chris Calico with him at that point in time. And then I seen him again 3-4 years ago without Chris Calico. He's just performing solo now.
Doing his own shit.
Yup. And it was crazy seeing Tech up there with no hype man doing all the shit that he does. That shit's inspiring.
I don't use a hype man either. And I got plenty of people that want to do it. I go up there by myself.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. People have offered and asked, like, why don't you have a hype man? To me, it's similar to having a podcast co-host. Like, I don't need to depend on someone else when I gotta rap, dude. Like if I could do that shit on my own, and I know I can, and I just take more pride in it that way. Like, I really do.
Here's the thing that's fucked up for me too, though. I can practice for weeks. I'll practice on the way to the show. Forget bars. I done switch verses. There was a couple shows ago. I had one of my homegirls had to fucking tell me how to start the verse off because I forgot what I was doing.
It's the weed, dog. It's all the weed.
Well, no, it ain't. It's never the weed. It's because I'm 43. It's I'm old.
You ever forget your bars and just start freestyling instead?
No. I've had shit start over.
Never.
No, I don't ever do that. I'm just like,
I've done that shit.
I forgot. I've wrote it out until the song was over. Or until it came to a part where I remembered some shit. Because I don't rap to my vocals, except for the hook.
Yep.
The verses are empty. So if I forget where the fuck I'm at, I just forgot.
You're lost in the sauce.
Yeah, I'm just lost until the hook comes back in or the track's over if it's one of the ones where I just rap straight through.
Yeah, man. I remember when I first met Team Rocket Set. It was like 2019. I was doing a show. We had a spot called the Mill Hill Basement. This basement we used to do shows at. And I had a track called BluntVille. It's out now. Like at the time it was unreleased. So I'm doing this unreleased track. So nobody knew the lyrics. Right. I made it to the second verse and I forgot the whole verse, bro. And I freestyled it. And in my mind, I thought it was terrible. I'm just saying whatever to get through. You know what I mean? I'll never forget. I get done. I'm sweating my ass off, bro. And my boy Lagoon, he grabs me like for a hug. He's like, yo, that second verse on BluntVille was the craziest shit I heard. I didn't even tell him. I was like, bro, that shit wasn't even real.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the fuck I said.
Yup. To this day, I don't know what I said. I wish I did because apparently it was great.
That was fun. I can't freestyle more than like 4 to 6 bars, and then I get caught up in trying to overthink too much instead of just letting it go.
No, I get what you're saying. For me, it depends on the vibe. I used to freestyle so much when I was a teenager, and
I did
but
too
I
at
haven't
parties and shit.
exactly. Now I
Yeah.
don't go to parties, so I don't find myself in that position anymore.
Right.
I was thinking that I was talking about that on the last episode. Like rapping
I'd
used
have
to
a
be a
blunt and a
physical.
40 OE just fucking rapping at a party because somebody was like, oh, I can rap. No, you can't. Let's go.
That shit for me just don't be going down no more. And then
Right.
when we go to the ciphers and shit, it's like it's more organized ciphers. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
everybody needs time to get their bars off.
I need
When
to
I was a
find
teenager,
some rappers to congregate with. I feel like I fell off since I don't just hang around motherfucking creatives.
nah, I get what you're saying. I definitely understand. Like, I mean, my shit, like, I'd be locked in working on beats, this, that, the third all the time. But I was thinking about that recently myself. I was like, man, not really sharpening that cipher sword like I used to, hanging
Right.
out with other rappers all the time. You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of the shit that I used to say in like some of my in some of my battles, I feel like was better than what I say now. But I feel like now I flip syllables way better. Like I can do 4, 5, 6 syllable rhyme schemes that I wasn't doing back then. It was single and double. But I feel like I had better punches back then. I don't know.
It's just
Maybe it's just the
different.
evolution.
Yeah, it's different areas of the artistry. You know what I mean? That get
I'm
focused
also
on
not
for
a
different
retarded
things.
ass 20-something-year-old that's fucking wilding out.
Now you're like you're all stoned all the time. You're like chill and
Dude, I got a grandbaby. I'm a fucking grandpa. I can't be out doing fucking
damn,
year old shit.
Grandpa Frost. Come on.
Yeah. IV Frost.
Nah, I mean, I respect the evolution of Jacc D Frost. I think, like you said, I think your music right now is sounding the best that I've ever heard it sound.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I think
I
you're,
think how it sounds as far as in a track and to the ear, I think it's
yep,
way better. Yeah.
yeah,
I just
because
think
I
my
feel the
punches
same
were
way.
better. I just think it, even though my punches were better in the past, I feel like everything comes together better now.
Right. Now I can feel that on my own shit too, because I feel like now, like I'm super happy with how my music is coming out and how everything is sounding. But when I was younger, man, my focus was primarily like, you're gonna be around a bunch of people later that think they can rap, and you're gonna shit on them. And
Right.
that was like a big part of like rapping back then. It was like, yo, the cipher kick off, and you're like stepping on people,
Yeah.
like somebody spitting whack, and someone starts rapping over them, and it was so competitive and shit. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like battle rappers. Like there are these really dope battle rappers who don't make good music, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because
But they
they
do
never
great
rap
battles.
over beats. And right, like they'll destroy you'll
Yeah.
you will lyrically murder me when the beat goes off. You know what I mean? But making a song that somebody wants to drive to or smoke a joint to,
Right.
it's a totally different
Yeah, I
thing.
think that's where I was getting at with what I was saying earlier. Like when I was doing the battling shit and it was about who could be the most creative or the most aggressive. And like back then, like I felt like as a white boy, aggressive white boy, I had to fucking prove myself. Nobody
Right.
believed that I was locked up for the things I was locked up with because I was 6'1", 150 pounds. I was skin and bones. So everybody's like, you didn't do that until I showed my paperwork. And then they're like, shit, you really did that. So then the verification with the bars comes, and then the consistency with it. Then they're like, okay. So I feel like back then having to prove myself, I had to go harder. And then now that
Right.
I've already proved what I can do, I could just chill.
Absolutely. And work on the actual songs themselves,
Oh
sticking with
shit
the
that somebody
topics
wants to
and
ride to. Somebody
yep.
actually told me the other day that talking my shit, they were like, I could see myself riding around just bumping that. I'm like,
Oh
fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Shit, you had a lot of joints on the last album that I found myself riding around bumping.
Shit, I appreciate it.
So with that said, I'm looking forward to the future of Jacc D Frost. Before I get you out of here, man, I want to ask a couple rapid fire type questions here.
Okay.
Couple random things. You know what I mean? If you could have an all-day studio session with one artist, dead or alive, any genre to it, don't gotta be a rapper, who would that artist be?
DMX.
DMX, really? That
Fucking
quick?
right. DMX.
That's amazing.
Rest in peace
Man,
to dog. DMX,
yeah.
one of the biggest influences on me.
R.I.P. Yeah,
Like I
one
grew
of
up
my
listening
biggest.
to a lot of shit. I grew up listening to a lot of shit. I've been introduced to hip hop in, like I said, 1990. So from 90 till now, I've been in and done, gone back and done research and listened to what came out before that. But I've been fans of a lot of artists for a long time. But X, there was just something about X.
Absolutely. No, he was a big influence on me too.
Yeah.
I read his autobiography when I
read
was
that too
young.
when I was in prison.
Dude, it was super inspirational. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I was about to say. I could see how he probably inspired you because a lot of his early story was incarceration and shit, and how
Bro, I
hip
cried
hop
reading that
music.
shit about his childhood. That shit broke my heart that his mama did that to him, man. And that his
Yeah,
uncle
same.
did that to him, man.
A lot of the things that happened to him, just his childhood in general. It made me sad reading about how smart he was, how good he actually was in school,
Yeah.
but this shit wasn't rewarded
And
properly
you
in his
would think that a
household.
person that went through that type of shit would have no love for nothing, nobody, and the dude had the biggest fucking heart in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. RIP to the dog. A huge influence on me,
Yeah.
too. Yeah, now you caught me off guard with how quick you answered that one. No shit.
DMX all day.
All right, here's another one. This is a different vein of question, but I meant to ask it earlier. So, Block Huggers Entertainment, that's your shit, right? That's your movement?
No, that's not mine.
That's not yours. Well, break
No,
it down to us.
that is Josie Mo's project. That is his company.
Okay.
I met Josie in the feds.
Okay.
Josie got to the yard, and I think before he had got locked up, he was doing a whole bunch of shows in Raleigh, Durham, doing shit all over the place, on the radio, battling and shit, killing motherfuckers in battles all day long. So you hit the compound, we got to test you. Oh, here's a dude that's been rapping on the radio, and he's a Carolina cat and XYZ, and he looks like Beanie Siegel with dreads. But he got out and fucking wrecked shit on the yard. And that he was even, I don't think me and him ever battled. We ciphered and we became good friends. And then he was teaching me about how to work on my breath control. Since earlier before this started, we were talking about stationary bikes. We used to ride the stationary bikes in prison in the workout room and go 16 for 16, working on our breath control. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
He was teaching me shit then, and then he told me, he came home like a year and a half before I did. And he was like, man, when you come home, I got you. I'm gonna fuck with you. And he did. The day I came home, he was at my grandfather's apartment, fucking gave me a couple dollars for some clothes, took me to the liquor store, my first time being a grown-up going to a liquor store. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I came home on a Tuesday. He put me on stage on Saturday at this place in Carborough called Cat's Cradle. And yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
So shout out to Block Huggers Entertainment.
As soon as I come home and shit, yeah. Shout out Josie Mo, BHE, baby.
Yeah, shout out to BHE. I see you repping it all the time, so I wanted to make sure we got
shit tattooed on my back, man.
Yeah, man. Wanted to make sure we got the origins of that in the episode as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. One more quick question. If you could record an album in any country or any state in the world, you could get it's like a recording session / vacation all in one. Where would you choose to do this?
I probably go home to Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world.
I probably
You're going back to Florida.
I go back home.
Would it put you in that Florida man mentality? Get some crazy bars out of you?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not the traveling type. Like if I go somewhere and I want to go work, I would probably go to Florida. If I was to go even outside of my fucking time zone, I'm not gonna work.
Absolutely. Nah, that makes sense.
If I went to another country, I'm not gonna want to work. I'm gonna want to sightsee. I'm gonna want to fucking go chill, go smoke a blunt somewhere I'm not supposed to.
Fair enough.
I feel like if I went back home to Florida, all the work that actually gets done by artists down there, I think that would probably push me. Oh, well, I'm down here in Miami. I gotta let me do a Miami album. Let me do something that they'll love down here and fucking and it might push me to do something different. Because I don't think
my roots a little bit.
My style is underground as fuck. Like you gotta be a fan to like me. I'm not for everybody.
Jacc D Frost. I don't know, man. I think you might be for everybody.
I don't know.
You just might be.
I don't know. That'd be nice.
Everybody needs a little Jacc D Frost in their rotation.
I might not be everybody's shot at Jack.
I like that. All right, man. Well, we're gonna set the episode off right there. Do you got any special shout outs last minute you want to give?
I appreciate you for having me on again.
I appreciate you.
Shout out motherfucking Josie, Block Huggers, Empire, pushing my shit out.
Yay.
Grind Mode for fucking with me. And everybody.
Shout out to Grind Mode.
Everybody that's bought a shirt, come to a show, cop the album, stream the song, said they like me or said fuck me. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Yo, if y'all have not already, make sure you are following Jacc D Frost. He's on Spotify. He's on YouTube. It is spelled JACCD Frost. You can find him on Instagram. He is on Facebook. Contact him directly for some CDs and merch and
Everywhere.
shit. I want to thank all the listeners and viewers out there for tuning in to another installment of iLLViLLE Radio. Jacc D Frost, thank you for joining us. It was a
Thank you for
motherfucking
having
pleasure.
me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, make sure y'all are subscribed on YouTube. Gibby Stites, that is the channel where these episodes are released in the visual form. And you can subscribe to iLLViLLE Radio on all the streaming outlets, Spotify, Apple, all that shit. Leave us a 5-star review, all that good shit. He gonna do that shit.